Good evening, Rotorua. Tonight on City News. Great War Stories Rotorua Remembers World War I has opened at the museum. Local businessman Peter Duncan expands his business by opening up in Tauranga, and a weekend of rugby for young players across the province at the Ty Mitchell tournament. But first to news from the Rotorua District Council's meeting last night. Here's Mayor Steve Chadwick.
The big issue for us at the moment is what do we do with the funding announcement from Todd McClay about the Eastern Corridor. And this is going to now get us around the table to discuss with the hapu what can we do to get that traffic flow through Rotorua and to the port as quickly as we can and efficiently. So we're going to have a lot of discussions ahead with iwi about how we're going to solve the Eastern Corridor link that we are all accepting we need for growth in Rotorua.
Great War Stories Rotorua Remembers World War I has opened at the museum. The exhibition is part of the 100th year commemorations. Curator of the exhibition, Chris Rapley, says the exhibition is a truly community-based display.
We've got, a wide range of items really. What we did back at the beginning of the year is we appealed to Rotorua people about what stories and what items they had, which we could actually put on display, and the response was terrific. So we selected 10 stories from all those offers, and we've written up those stories and put those objects on display so people can come and see them and just interact with these amazing items we've got. And then also we've got information on the grand sweep of the war, so you get the personal stories, but also if you're wanting the big picture, you can also come down and find out about World War I as a whole, as it were.
Local businessman and the wedding guy, Peter Duncan, is exporting his brand into the Tauranga market. Mr. Duncan says it's all part of a larger vision of franchising the wedding guy around New Zealand and into Australia.
It was always part of our business plan. The big picture was to franchise the business if it went off, and obviously the continued growth in the steady stream of business that we're enjoying gives us more of an opportunity to springboard into our future. So what we're doing by 2017, we're hoping to franchise the wedding guy across New Zealand and inevitably into Australia. But first and foremost, by the end of this year, we will relocate to Tauranga to set up the Tauranga end of the business. In
sport tonight, the 2014 Ty Mitchell tournament is underway at the Rotorua International Stadium. Young players from across the province come together for the 5-day Under-13 Rugby Festival. There are 2 local teams in this year's tournament, Rotorua Maroon and Rotorua Gold. Bay of Plenty Rugby Union Operations Manager Neil Elton says the tournament has long been a highlight of the junior rugby calendar. It's the profile Under-13 tournament that's been going since 1938. To your weather update now, and the forecast tonight is fine with southwesterlies and an overnight low of 1. And we have a full forecast of the weekend's weather coming up thanks to Met Service straight after City News. For program listings or to watch City News again, visit our website tvrotorua.co.nz and remember to look us up on Facebook. Still to come in tonight's program, we visit the set of the latest Little Theatre production God of Carnage at Shambles Theatre. We find out about Lizzie Marvelly's trip home to perform for local music students. And we talk with New Zealand and Oceania arm wrestling champion Matt Hetta-Morris about the upcoming World Championships.
Well, if you're a fan of amateur theatre, we've got a great story for you today. We're down here at Shambles Theatre and the play is called God of Carnage. Interesting name. I'm sure it's going to be an interesting play because we're going to head inside and catch up with director Richard Rugg and we're going to find out what it's all about. And then you're going to get a little excerpt from a couple of their main crew members. So let's head inside and catch up with Richard. Hi Richard, good to have you on City News today. Now you're the director of Gods of Carnage. Interesting name.
God of Carnage, yeah.
God of Carnage, yeah, tell us about it.
Okay, well it's about 2 boys who get into a playground fight. One of them hits the other one with a stick in the mouth, doing some damage to the teeth. But more than that, it's about the 2 parents coming together and trying to have a discussion to resolve the boys' issues. And that's about the problems that come up out of that.
Yeah. So what did the boy hit his mate in the face anyway?
I suppose it's not really giving too much away to say that he wouldn't let him join his gang.
So there's bullying, gangs, physical abuse and arguing.
And arguing, yep. Yeah, some very infantile behaviour goes on in the show, yeah. A good round family entertainment.
Now this is obviously the set behind us, and for our viewers at home, we actually got a couple of actors who are going to do us a bit of an excerpt very shortly, but let's talk more about the play. infantile. Just explain that a little bit more.
The adults start out trying to be reasonable and moderate, and
Doesn't work.
they become more childish as the play goes on. Yes.
Yeah. Now, obviously, here at Shambles Theatres, there's lots of different places throughout the year. But how long have you guys been practicing or rehearsing for this?
So far, it would be about 8 weeks.
Yeah.
8 weeks. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays we get together and rehearse.
Yeah. And how's it going so far?
Good, really, really good. Yeah, yeah, it's a fun show. I mean, it may not sound like a fun show, but it is a fun show. Yeah.
Yeah. How big's the cast?
4, just the 2 parents. That's all it is. It starts after the fight, with them coming together, meeting, and trying to resolve the problem.
Yeah. Now, these 2 young boys that have the biffo, are they actually on stage as well? Or
Nope,
is it,
nope.
you
We never see them at all. We only hear about them.
Yeah. And how long's the show for?
2 weeks. It starts Friday the 4th, and will run till Saturday the 19th.
Is it a usual cast? Because I know there's a core group of actors down here at Shambles Theatre. Is it the same sort of people?
You do tend to see the same faces popping up now and then. All of these actors have done shows with Shambles in the last year, at least. Some of them have been doing it for a long time. Some of them, this is quite still very early in their acting careers, as it were. So it's a nice little eclectic group of very experienced, less experienced, raw.
Raw's good.
Raw's good, yeah, it is. For a play like this, Raw is actually quite cool.
Now, you mentioned acting career. Let's talk about that for a little bit. If someone wants to get into amateur theatre, how can they do it?
Start off, just come down and just make yourself known, really. The auditions are always advertised, so come on down, come to the shows, meet the people afterwards. A lot of people sometimes, as soon as the show's over, just feel like they need to leave, but the cast will get themselves back ready again, come on down, we'll always have a drink at the bar after a show. It's a good time to sit down and meet people, talk, and always become a member. The membership form's always down here. You can just come on down, become a member, and then you'll get a newsletter. You'll always be informed on what's going on. And as soon as the auditions come around,
you don't need any experience at all?
Not really, no. It really is based just on, well, what do you bring? And is that right for that show? With this one, because they're all parents, if a bunch of 20-year-olds came along, it probably wouldn't be something I'd cast them for unless I could look at them and go, oh, okay, I can age you up somehow. But so that's going to play a part, the show that's going on. But really, it is just down to, what do you bring? Can we work with that? That's it.
How important is the stage presence for these actors?
Well, a stage presence is important, but that can also be learned. There has to be something there that you can see that will work for the character, first of all. If you can look at someone and go, right, maybe your stage presence isn't that great at the moment in the audition process, but what you're doing, what you're bringing works so well for the character, then you take a chance on that. And then you rehearse with them, you work with them, and you start bringing more presence out. And it is something that can be learned. It's not just some natural sort of God-given gift that people sort of are born into the world with stage presence. Not at all.
Now, I can see them sitting in the background biting their bit to give us a bit of an example of what the show's going to be like. Now, obviously, we can't talk about what's going to happen at the end, but we want people to come down, don't we? So
absolutely. Just
one more time for our audience at home. When's God of Carnage start?
It starts Friday, 4th of July, and it goes through till Saturday, the 19th of July. It's always an 8 o'clock performance, except on the very first Sunday when it's at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, cool. So this is going to go to air Friday, so it's actually going to be starting tonight.
So it's tonight.
Yes.
Tonight, 4th of July. Please come down.
Cool. So we're going to hand it over to the crew of Gods of Carnage, so you guys can take it away.
Men are so wedded to their gadgets. You know, it belittles them. It takes away their authority. I mean, even a briefcase is enough to put me off. There was this man once, and I was very attracted to him. And then I saw the shoulder bag. Well, there's nothing worse than a shoulder bag. Mind you, there's nothing worse than a cell phone.
Annette, do you mind? This is really important.
Yes, Alan, well, it's always very important, isn't it? Anything anywhere else is very important.
Hello everybody, well I'm at the beautiful and historic Princess Gate Hotel. You will all know it well. I'm joined now by the owner, Brett Marvelly. And of course he has a very famous daughter. She's on her way home soon. They've been doing some exciting things here. They had a worldwide premiere of Mana Wahine, which happened on Friday. Lots of exciting things. Hi, Brett.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, very good. Mana Wahine was brilliant. We had the cast here virtually for the whole week, which was fantastic, getting to know them as well, and very hard-working people. And then we had the premiere on Friday night, which went really well. So a lot of the VIP guests left from here. They had like cocktails prior to going and went over and participated in the show. And then came back afterwards and had a couple of wines. So it was lovely night.
So tell us about the show.
The show definitely very cultural, about bringing sort of a lot of Maori things together again. Of course, it had the ballet with it. So very, very special. Personally, I would have liked to see more people there, I think, especially on the Saturday night. And I think Rotorua just needs to get behind that sort of thing. Yeah, so very special.
So it's going to be showing for a while now, I suppose. And how did it feel to have the VIP launch here?
Oh, it's great. You know, not being big-headed, but we do a lot of that sort of thing.
Yes.
It's lovely, and it fits so well. You know, the character, the hotel, the style, the ambience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we've just been having a look around the walls and there are some very beautiful pictures of your daughter and all of the VIPs that she's been rubbing shoulders with, and she's absolutely a VIP herself now. How is she?
Yeah, she's good. She's just about to put her new album out, which is released on Thursday, which has been 2 years in the making. And of course, that part of that journey is from her going from the crossover soprano type scenario back into more pop. So it's been a journey, and we're looking forward to seeing exactly how it's accepted.
Well, if it's anything like what she's been doing with soprano work, I'm sure it'll be a huge success.
Oh, thank you.
Is she excited?
She is. She's very, very happy within herself, which is the main thing. I think as a parent, all you want them to do is to be happy and enjoy what they're doing. And that's the journey she's going through, which is fantastic.
And as a father, when you see your daughter with that level of success, how do you feel about that as a dad?
Yeah, well, you always feel very proud. You also know there's a lot of hard work that's gone on there as well. So in that, it's quite satisfying to see the achievement. So you sit back there saying, good on you, girl, but also knowing there's a lot more work to do, sort of thing, and the journey they've taken.
Did you see the talent in her from a young age?
Not specifically. I always knew she had a wonderful aura about her on stage, but it was actually a school teacher, primary school teacher, when she was about, I suppose, I call it standard 2, what's that, about year 6 or 7, that said, did you know, I realised your daughter had a lovely voice, and she said, I think you should do something about it. So that's virtually how it all sort of started.
How it all started. And then have you been the dadager, the manager, the mummager? Have you been the dadager?
Earlier on, but yeah, it gets to a stage where you do need that professional type scenario, and someone that really understands the music industry. So even though you have good business principles, it does need to go to another level.
So back to the Mana Wahine performance. Obviously, Mana Wahine means a strong woman, or a woman with power and a beautiful air about her, some strength, some inner strength, and they're definitely all things that Lizzie is out showcasing.
Yes, she is.
So did she hear about the Mana Wahine premiere?
She did. She knew about it, and she wished she could have come. She was actually sick that night, which was a bit of unfortunate, really, because she would have definitely come to the performance. And and I had invited her as well, which was lovely.
That is lovely.
Yeah. So she's back here on the 16th at the Civic, and she's bringing her album back to Rotorua. So she'll showcase that. And she's also put an invite out there to all musical students in the high schools. So if they'd like to come along complimentary, that's available to them as well.
Wonderful. So tell us a little bit about that again, because she's showcasing her new album.
Yes.
And she's offering students an opportunity to be involved in that.
Yes, she just wants them to come along, and there might be a little bit of talk stuff on stage anyway, but just for them to sort of see the journey that she's been through and get a feel for it. And she'll be there afterwards, of course, signing albums and things, so hopefully she can meet a few people as well.
Giving back, and I'm sure there'll be some young musicians out there that would probably quite like to follow in her footsteps, so it'd be interesting, you know, the people these days, they really do admire singers, so I'm sure they'll be there in their droves.
Oh, I hope so. It's good for her. She's always had fantastic support from Rotorua, and that's one of the reasons she wants to come back and also share that. It'll also be quite nice for the how would I put it, the yesteryear fan, which might have been a little bit older, to see the transition. So I think she's going to mould the two quite well together. So obviously she's hoping to appeal more to a younger audience with the pop side of it. But I think the older person that's followed Elizabeth will also want to come along and see that transition.
Well, thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for all of the things that you're doing here to keep the history alive.
Thank you. Yeah, and it is a journey, and you never stay still, so you're always trying to get better and better, and I think that's another thing that you've got to do. So, yeah, hopefully Rotorua in years to come, we have left a legacy, and they can feel proud of it as well.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Well, today I'm catching up with Matt Heta-Morris, who's off to the World Champion Arm Wrestling Champions over in Lithuania. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty scared of having a go with this fellow here to have an arm wrestle. But before I do, we're going to have a quick chat about what you've been up to, Matt. So, obviously, you went to the champs last year. How did you get on there?
I came 11th. I was in Poland. Yeah, it's definitely hard.
Yeah. What does it mean to you to represent New Zealand, as an arm wrestler?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a sport that no one really thinks that much of, and to be doing it, it's carrying our country on my shoulders.
Yeah. Now you're off to Lithuania. When about you heading off, Matt?
September. You're off in September.
Yeah. So I'm guessing between now and then you're going to be doing some pretty hard out training.
Yep. We've already started last week. Yeah. So try to get bigger.
Bigger? Yeah. Can you get any bigger?
I hope so.
Yeah. So who are you wrestling against? Because over in America, arm wrestling is a professional sport, and they're pretty big on it over there. Are you going to be wrestling against all these sorts of other athletes as well?
Yep, there'll be Australians, Americans, Russians, Germans, Ukraine, Brazil, heaps of them. But yeah, they've all been doing it for 10, 15, 20 years, so they all live that sport.
Yeah. How long have you been doing it?
I've only been doing it for 2 years. 10 years, I should, hopefully.
So last year was your first year and you came out 11th at the World Champs.
Yeah.
You've got to be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, definitely. I was told you should go to the World Champs after 7 years. I'll go after 1 year.
Nice. Yeah. Do you think it's a bit of the Māori blood in you that fires you up to get in there?
Definitely, yeah. Man. It's such a little country with so much power. Got to show the world. Yeah,
there's a good saying out there that New Zealand and Rotorua is small, but we are fierce. Is that something you'd agree with?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So obviously we're down here at Instinctive Fitness, who obviously is helping you train. What sort of things are you doing with your training?
I do arm wrestling twice a week and weight training about 3 times a week. It's different types of weight training. It's the type that you wouldn't see in the gym. It's a lot of heavy lifting. There's 45 kg dumbbells and 2 light.
Yeah. What about your diet? You have to be pretty strict with that?
Yeah, just about a kg of meat and heaps of potatoes and broccoli. Yeah, that's my diet. Works for me.
Now, obviously, to get over to the World Champs, you're going to have to do some fundraising. So, have you got any sponsors or anybody helping you out?
Yep, I've got Insurance House. They're one of my main sponsors. They'll be helping me out, and then I'll probably do a lot of fundraising as well to make up the rest of the funds.
Cool.
But if anyone can help.
Yeah. How can they get hold of you if someone's wanting to help you out?
At the moment, I only wear it on Facebook. Yeah. Or just come into Instinctive Fitness.
Yeah, on Rotorua Street.
Yep.
Yeah, just pop in and say g'day.
Yeah.
Now, in that movie, Over the Top, that old school movie with Sylvester Stallone, he does a move where he puts his fingers over his thumb.
Yep.
Are you allowed to do things like that?
Yep, you can do that during an arm wrestle, just not before. You've always got to keep your thumb knuckles showing. You've got to keep your elbows on the pads, your shoulders straight. And on the go, you can't lift your elbows off.
Yeah, so it's a lot more tactical than just going up and down that you see on TV. There's different moves.
There's 3 main different moves, and then off those moves, there's sub moves, different counters. It's finding out which one's your strength and working on it.
How much of the power comes from the core? Because I can imagine it's not just arms and biceps, but your whole body.
Yep. Like most trainings, I get a leg workout, get a back workout. Yeah. core worker.
Is there any mind games with the opposition?
Yep. Just stare at them. Stare at them. Don't look at them. Give them a pukana.
Really? You're allowed to do that?
You can do whatever you want.
Wow.
It's a good sport.
So where do you see your future, Matt?
Professional, I hope. Paid for it. New Zealand's not that great at sponsoring little sports, so hopefully they can see that in the future.
Yeah. Do you do workouts on both arms, or is it mainly just your arm wrestling arm?
I do work out on both, but my right arm's about 2 inches bigger than my left.
You're like a softballer.
Yeah.
The softballer pitchers have always got bigger arms.
Yeah.
Well, Matt, we wish you all the best of luck, and hopefully your training goes well, and you do New Zealand proud, and you do yourself proud. What does your family think about you heading over?
Yeah, no, they're very supportive and they're proud. So.
Cool. Well, hopefully you'll come back with a medal, eh?
Yeah, hopefully.
And we'll catch up with you when you come back after September.
Definitely.
Right, cheers, bro.
Thanks.
That was New Zealand and Oceania arm wrestling champion Matt Heta-Morris talking with Alan Solomon about the upcoming World Championships. If you'd like to watch the show again, visit our website tvrotorua.co.nz, or to get in contact with us, phone 07 3488 984. Thanks for joining us tonight. We hope you have a wonderful weekend. Pumaria.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.